Earth was their next target until one message changed everything. Best HFY stories. The galaxy was a vast and violent expanse, filled with countless species, each vying for control, survival, or supremacy. Most civilizations, from the ruthless Zeltrax to the technologically advanced Eldari, viewed humanity as just another primitive species, soon to be wiped out or enslaved. Earth was a small, insignificant world on the edge of the galaxy, unremarkable in the grand scheme of things. The Torthans, a warlike race from the core systems, had already set their sights on it. Their fleet, powerful and unstoppable, was heading straight for Earth with one goal in mind: complete annihilation. The Torthans had conquered many worlds before, and their invasion tactics were flawless, until they encountered something they had never seen before: humanity's resilience. It started with a single message. On the eve of their final assault, the Torthan fleet, poised to strike, received an encrypted transmission. They were used to receiving messages from conquered planets, begging for mercy, pleading for their lives. But this message, this one was different. The content was simple, yet powerful. It read, "We are not your slaves. We are not your prey. We are humanity. You have made a mistake." The Torthans scoffed at the message, a final desperate plea, no doubt. But there was something unsettling about it. It wasn't fear, or even anger, but something else, something they couldn't quite place. They decided to ignore it and proceeded with their invasion plan. What happened next stunned them. Without warning, Earth's military, which had been operating under the radar of galactic powers, unleashed a coordinated defense unlike anything the Torthans had ever encountered. At first, it seemed like a few rogue factions, scrambling to protect their planet. But the more they fought, the more the Torthans realized, this wasn't just a few factions. This was the entire planet, every nation, every leader, every human, fighting back. The Torthans had never seen such unity. No species they had encountered before could rally together in the face of certain annihilation. The humans were disorganized by galactic standards, their technology crude compared to the Torthans, but they made up for it with sheer ingenuity and determination. In the skies above Earth, human fighter jets met Torthan battlecruisers in a chaotic dogfight. The human pilots, using the environment of their planet to their advantage, engaged in impossible maneuvers that threw the Torthans off guard. On the ground, human soldiers, armed with outdated weapons, held their own against advanced alien forces. The Torthans had underestimated the spirit of humanity. Back in the Torthan flagship, Commander Zavok stood in disbelief. The humans had no right to be this strong, this defiant, but their tactics were cunning, almost like they were playing a game the Torthans had never seen before. And then, as the battle raged on, a single message flashed on every screen in the fleet. You are outmatched, you are outgunned, but most of all, you are out of time. Leave Earth, or you will learn the true meaning of humanity. Zavok's heart raced. The audacity, the sheer arrogance of these humans to speak so boldly. He ordered his fleet to engage with full force, but the humans kept adapting, pushing back harder and harder. Then, the unexpected happened. From deep space, a signal came through, stronger and more advanced than anything the Torthans had ever encountered. It was a distress call, but not from Earth. It was from an ancient human satellite, one that had long been forgotten by the rest of the galaxy. The Torthans had assumed it was useless, a relic from a time when Earth wasn't even considered a threat. But as the signal surged through their systems, the Torthans realized they had made a grave mistake. The satellite wasn't just broadcasting a message, it was activating a series of dormant human technologies hidden across the galaxy. In a matter of moments, Torthan ships began to malfunction. Their weapons systems shut down, their shields flickered, and their communication channels were scrambled. The humans had somehow tapped into a vast network of technologies, relics of an ancient, forgotten era. Zavok realized that the humans had not just fought back with weapons, they had fought with their history, a history that the galaxy had never truly understood. The Torthans had thought Earth was weak, primitive, and unworthy, but they had underestimated the depth of humanity's potential. It wasn't the size of their fleet or the strength of their weapons that made humanity dangerous. It was their will to survive, their unyielding desire to protect their home, and their capacity for unity and innovation. These were things no alien species could replicate, no matter how advanced their technology. The Torthons retreated, their invasion plans in ruins. Humiliated by a species they had once deemed insignificant, Commander Zavok's last message to his fleet was one of reluctant surrender. Earth is not a planet to be conquered. It is a force to be reckoned with. And so, humanity's reputation spread across the stars. The galaxy learned that Earth was not just another world to be subdued. It was a force that had the power to change everything. The Torthons may have retreated, but they would not be the last to learn that when you underestimate humanity, you risk facing something far greater than a species. You risk facing an unstoppable spirit. The aftermath, the rise of Earth's defenders. In the months that followed the Torthon retreat, Earth slowly began to heal. The world had come together like never before, bound by the shared experience of defying a galactic threat. The global response to the invasion, one of unprecedented unity, had been a testament to the very qualities that made humanity unique: adaptability, resilience, and an unshakable determination to protect their home. However, the victory was not without its costs. Many cities had been destroyed in the initial strikes, and lives were lost. But Earth's recovery was swift. The war had not only united humanity, it had transformed them. The nations that had once been divided by borders and ideologies now shared a common purpose: to never again be caught unprepared for such a threat. The message sent by humanity had been clear: Earth was not just a target, it was a force to be reckoned with. The formation of the Earth Defense Coalition. In a historic summit held in Geneva, representatives from every nation on Earth met to discuss the future. The Earth Defense Coalition, EDC, was born, a united military and scientific alliance with one primary mission: to protect Earth from any further threats, be they alien or otherwise. The EDC's first order of business was to rebuild and reinforce Earth's defenses, both on the ground and in space. The world's best scientists and engineers worked together to reverse engineer the Torthon technology they had captured during the battle. What had once been a daunting alien force was now a tool that humanity could wield for itself. But Earth's leaders knew that mere defense would not be enough. The Torthon invasion had shown them that the galaxy was filled with countless dangers, and if they were to ensure the safety of their home, they would need to become active participants in galactic affairs. The Human Vanguard. As part of their new strategy, the EDC began the formation of the Human Vanguard, a highly trained and specialized force of soldiers, diplomats, and scientists, tasked with representing Earth in the wider galaxy. The Vanguard's goal was not just to defend Earth, but to establish Earth's presence in intergalactic politics and trade. The first team of the Human Vanguard was led by Commander Abigail Hayes, a decorated war hero who had played a pivotal role in the Torthon conflict. Her team, a mix of veterans and young recruits, was sent to the far reaches of the galaxy to build alliances, secure Earth's interests, and ensure that no other species would ever underestimate humanity again. Their first mission was to travel to the Eldari homeworld, a planet of elegance and wisdom, where the most advanced and peaceful civilization in the galaxy resided. It was a risky move, though the Eldari were known for their knowledge and diplomatic skill. They were also fiercely independent, and the human race was still seen by many as a wild card. Commander Hayes stepped off the shuttle, her boots clicking on the smooth surface of the Eldari capital. She was met by Ambassador Lysara, an Eldari elder known for her wisdom. The two women exchanged a glance before Lysara spoke. "You are humanity," she said, her voice calm but measured, "the ones who defied the Torthons." "Yes," Hayes replied, her tone unwavering, "and we are here to make sure no one ever forgets that." Over the next few months, the Human Vanguard forged an unlikely alliance with the Eldari. They shared knowledge, technology, and military strategies. The Eldari were impressed by humanity's resilience and resourcefulness. They quickly recognized that while Earth was still a young player in galactic politics, it was one that could not be ignored. A new era of exploration. With the formation of the Earth Defense Coalition and the success of the Human Vanguard, Earth had transitioned from a quiet, isolated world to an active, respected force in the galaxy. The Torthon invasion had, in many ways, served as a catalyst for humanity's rise, forcing them to abandon their isolationist tendencies and embrace their place among the stars. The EDC began sending out exploratory fleets to nearby star systems, seeking out new allies and technologies. They were determined not to repeat the mistakes of the past. And as they ventured deeper into the galaxy, they learned more about the ancient history of humanity, about the long-forgotten civilizations that had once inhabited Earth, leaving behind traces of advanced technology scattered across the stars. One such discovery came when a team of human archaeologists uncovered the remains of an ancient city beneath the icy surface of Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. The city, older than any known civilization, seemed to be a remnant of humanity's earliest ancestors, proof that Earth's people had once been much more than primitive, isolated beings. The find was a revelation that would change the way humanity viewed its place in the galaxy. The message to the universe. Months after their victory, humanity sent out a message. It wasn't just for the Tortons, or the Eldari, or any one species, it was for the entire galaxy. We are humanity. We have faced extinction, and we have risen. We stand ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead, and we will never be silent again. You will know us, not by our weapons, but by our will to survive and to protect. This is our home. This is Earth, and you will never forget the name of our species. The message echoed across the stars, carried by every communication relay, every satellite, every ship that ventured into the depths of space. It wasn't a declaration of war. It was a statement of existence, of defiance. It was a promise that Earth would not simply be a footnote in the history of the galaxy. It would be a force, one that would change the future of the universe. The legacy of Earth. In the years that followed, humanity's reputation as a force to be reckoned with spread far and wide. The Tortons, who once believed Earth was just another target, now knew better. The Eldari, once skeptical of humanity's potential, began to treat them as equals. And even the most ruthless galactic empires, those who had once planned to conquer Earth, learned to avoid it, knowing that any attempt to subdue humanity would come at a high cost. But Earth's story wasn't just one of survival, it was a story of transformation. From a primitive world on the edge of the galaxy, humanity had become one of the most influential powers in the universe. And as their reach expanded, they found themselves not just protecting their home, but forging a new future for all sentient beings across the stars. The message had been received loud and clear. Humanity was no longer a target. It was a force that would change everything. The dawn of the human alliance. Years passed, and Earth's presence in the galaxy grew stronger. The Earth Defense Coalition, EDC, became a pivotal organization, one that not only protected Earth but also served as a diplomatic bridge between human and alien civilizations. Humanity's influence expanded beyond mere defense. They were now shaping the future of intergalactic diplomacy, trade, and cooperation. The human vanguard, under Commander Abigail Hayes, continued to spearhead Earth's efforts in the galaxy, and their missions were met with increasing success. They formed alliances with numerous species, from the enigmatic Hilzori to the resourceful Koran. Each race brought its strengths to the table. But humanity's most defining trait remained its unyielding drive. However, not all species in the galaxy shared the peaceful ideals of the Eldari or the cooperative nature of the Koran. Some, like the Kiver, a savage and expansionist empire, were not so easily persuaded. The Kiver had learned of Earth's newfound position in the galaxy, and they saw this as a threat to their own dominance. The Kiver had once been part of an ancient galactic war that left them with deep scars. And they viewed Earth's rapid rise as an anomaly, a reminder of their own past mistakes. The Kiver Empire began to make its moves, quietly destabilizing human-alien alliances, planting seeds of doubt, and subtly provoking other species to challenge Earth's rise. While many believed humanity's victory over the Tortons was an isolated incident, the Kiver knew better. They understood that humanity was unlike any species they had encountered before. There was something unpredictable about them. Something dangerous. And so, a new battle was about to begin, one that would not just be fought with weapons, but with ideas, influence, and strategy. The Kiver threat. Commander Abigail Hayes and her vanguard team were the first to uncover the extent of the Kiver's manipulation. The Kiver had quietly planted spies in key planetary systems, disrupting trade routes, sowing discord, and causing skirmishes between human and alien allies. They had even begun to approach certain factions, promising them military power and resources in exchange for undermining the Earth Defense Coalition. Hayes, now a seasoned diplomat as well as a warrior, was tasked with leading a counteroffensive. Her first move was to rally the alliance members she had worked so hard to form. The key to defeating the Kiver was not just defeating them militarily, but also cutting off their ability to manipulate others. She called a summit of the most powerful members of the human alliance, the Eldari, the Quaran, the Zynth, and even the now ambiguous Torthuns, who had come to respect Earth's resilience. The goal was simple: unite to expose the Kiver's influence and ensure that the galaxy would not fall under their control again. What we face isn't just a military threat, Hayes explained during the summit. The Kiver want to divide us. They want to create distrust between our species, and they want to turn the galaxy against Earth. But if we stand together, we can prove that unity is stronger than manipulation. But the Kiver weren't easy to defeat. They had centuries of experience in subversion, and they knew that direct warfare wasn't the only way to weaken Earth. They began to infiltrate Earth's politics, planting agents among the highest echelons of the Earth Defense Coalition, spreading lies and discord within the human government itself. The betrayal. The Kiver's greatest move came when they managed to turn one of Earth's most trusted leaders against the very cause they had fought so hard to protect. Admiral Jonathan Riker, a decorated war hero who had been instrumental in Earth's defense during the Torthun invasion, became a key player in the Kiver plot. Riker was approached by the Kiver with promises of power, wealth, and influence, using his doubts about Earth's growing influence as leverage. The Admiral, once a loyal defender of humanity, was now a traitor willing to sacrifice Earth's alliances for his own ambitions. Hayes and her Vanguard team were devastated by the betrayal, but they couldn't allow it to shake their resolve. The Kiver had miscalculated. Earth's strength wasn't just in its military power, it was in its people, and humanity had a way of fighting back against corruption, even from within. The rebirth of Earth's defenders, the human Vanguard, now under a new leadership structure, went to work immediately. The first step was to expose Admiral Riker's dealings with the Kiver, but that wasn't enough. Earth had been infiltrated, its own trust exploited, and it needed to remind both its allies and enemies that it had learned from its mistakes. The message was simple, but it had to be sent again. We are humanity, and you will not divide us. In an audacious move, Hayes and the Vanguard orchestrated a counterattack against the Kiver's agents, both on Earth and in space. A covert operation, executed flawlessly, stripped the Kiver of their influence on key trade routes and alliances. In a battle of wits and skill, humanity revealed that they could not only survive in the galaxy, they could thrive, even when faced with betrayal. And so, the human alliance proved its strength once again. They exposed Admiral Riker's treachery, and the Kiver's plans to destabilize Earth were foiled. Riker was captured, but his betrayal would serve as a warning. No one could be trusted to hold power unchecked. The unseen war. But the Kiver were not done. They had played a long game, and while Earth had struck back with devastating precision, the Kiver Empire was just as relentless. They had retreated for now, but their eyes remained on Earth, watching, waiting. The human alliance, now stronger and more united than ever, had proven that Earth could not just defend itself, it could hold its own in the galactic stage. But the war was far from over. The Kiver, though defeated in one battle, were far from done. This was not just a fight for survival. It was a fight for identity, for the future of humanity, and for the freedom of the galaxy itself. The message had been sent, but now, Earth would need to do more than survive. It would need to lead. We are humanity, and we are just getting started. The Great Awakening, Earth's final test. As the years passed, Earth's reputation continued to grow, but with it came an undeniable truth. The galaxy had learned to fear humanity's resilience. Yet there were those who saw it as a challenge to be crushed. The Kiver Empire, though temporarily defeated, had not forgotten their ambitions. They began to quietly rally other aggressive factions across the galaxy, from merciless warlords to opportunistic pirates, all eager to strike down Earth while it was still vulnerable from within. However, Earth was no longer the isolated planet it had once been. Under the leadership of the Earth Defense Coalition, EDC, humanity had constructed one of the most formidable defenses in the galaxy. The human Vanguard, though battle-tested, had grown beyond its original mission. Now, it was Earth's spearhead into the unknown. Diplomatic alliances, military prowess, and scientific breakthroughs were intertwined into a strong, united force. The last few months had been filled with increasing skirmishes with rogue factions that had once feared the Torthans but now sought to take advantage of a perceived weakness. The Kiver, emboldened by their failed but calculated infiltration of Earth's leadership, were quietly biding their time, waiting for the moment when humanity's attention would be divided. They knew humanity's greatest strength was its unity, and their greatest weapon would be division. But humanity had already learned from its mistakes. Earth's leaders, once divided by their own politics and national interests, now stood as a single entity, governed by a collective will that refused to break under pressure. And in the wake of their greatest victory, they had grown stronger, determined not only to protect Earth but to ensure that no other species, empire, or force would ever threaten the galaxy again. The catalyst, the dark star. It was a small discovery that turned into a harbinger of the storm to come. A research station on the farthest outskirts of human space, near the galactic edge, intercepted a strange signal, a series of unidentifiable frequencies, ones that didn't belong to any known species or technology. The signal seemed to emanate from the black hole at the center of a distant star system. It was an anomaly, something never before encountered by humanity, or anyone else for that matter. Commander Abigail Hayes, now a seasoned leader and strategist, was called upon to investigate this new development. What she and her team discovered would set in motion the final chapter of Earth's rise. The signal wasn't just a distress call, it was a beacon. But from who? Upon further investigation, it became clear that the source of the signal was an ancient race, the creators of the technology Earth had discovered in the ruins on Europa and other distant worlds. The race, known as the Seleni, had long vanished, leaving behind vast relics of their civilization. The Seleni had been the most advanced species in the galaxy eons ago, their knowledge and power far surpassing anything humanity had encountered. They had once been the guardians of the galaxy, ensuring that no single species or empire could dominate. But the Seleni had vanished after a catastrophic event, a war among the stars that had nearly torn the galaxy apart. Their destruction was not a natural disaster, but a war of annihilation against a force more terrifying than any known, an entity from beyond the known universe, referred to only as the Voidborn. The Voidborn were not merely another species. They were something else entirely, an unstoppable, incomprehensible force of destruction. They consumed stars, devoured entire systems, and obliterated any civilization that posed a threat to their aim, absolute annihilation. The awakening of the Voidborn. The Seleni had long since sealed away the Voidborn at the edges of the galaxy, but the beacon sent by the ancient race revealed that the Voidborn had begun to stir once again, waking from their millennia-long slumber. The black hole at the heart of the Seleni system was no accident. It was a prison, a containment field that held the Voidborn, keeping them from consuming the galaxy. However, the signal had unintentionally been a call, a beacon that had pierced the ancient seals, and now, the Voidborn were coming. The realization shook humanity to its core. This was no longer about galactic politics, nor rivalries between species. This was a war for survival, one that transcended any petty conflict. Earth and its allies would have to face a force unlike anything the galaxy had ever known. And the first signs of the Voidborn were already appearing. Strange rifts in spacetime, erratic gravity fluctuations, and entire star systems vanishing into nothingness. The human resolve. Commander Abigail Hayes and the human vanguard stood at the precipice of the most dangerous conflict the galaxy had ever known. The Kiver Empire, ever opportunistic, tried to exploit the growing chaos, but they were met with a united front of humans and their allies. Earth's leaders called a global summit and issued a single message to the galaxy. We stand united. We face an enemy that knows no mercy. This is not the time for division. The Voidborn will come, but we will not fall. Together, we fight. The EDC rallied the entire galaxy in preparation for the coming storm. Humanity would no longer just be defending their home, they would be leading the charge against an existential threat that threatened to wipe out all intelligent life in the galaxy. The Earth Defense Coalition, along with its allies, began to unite their forces for a grand campaign, a final push to find a way to stop the Voidborn before they could break free of their prison. The last stand. In the dark reaches of space, as the Voidborn grew stronger, Earth's greatest minds raced against time to find a solution. The Seleni's technology, though advanced, was incomplete. Their ancient records indicated a possible weakness in the Voidborn, something that could destroy them. But it required a sacrifice. The only weapon capable of ending the Voidborn threat was a device known as the Starforge, a machine capable of manipulating and channeling the energy of entire stars. A power so immense that it could obliterate the Voidborn once and for all. The Starforge, however, required a massive and dangerous operation. It could only be activated by someone willing to sacrifice their life, someone who would remain behind to ensure the weapon's success. Commander Abigail Hayes volunteered for the mission. "I've led humanity through our darkest days," she said, her voice unwavering. "But this time, it's not just our survival at stake, it's the entire galaxy's. If we have to sacrifice everything to ensure the future of the galaxy, then we will." The final battle. As the Voidborn began their assault, Earth and its allies prepared for the final confrontation. The battle was not just a physical one, it was a test of everything humanity had become. The EDC, the human vanguard, and their allies launched an all-out assault on the heart of the Voidborn's prison. Hayes and a select team of her most trusted officers made their way to the Starforge, deep within the Selenai ruins, where they would make the ultimate sacrifice to activate the weapon. The battle raged around them as humanity's forces fought to hold back the Voidborn's devastating forces. In the final moments, as the Starforge hummed with the power of collapsing stars, Hayes activated the device. The galaxy trembled as a brilliant, blinding light engulfed everything, and the Voidborn, for the first time in millennia, were destroyed. A new beginning. The galaxy was saved, but at a tremendous cost. The Voidborn were no more, their endless hunger extinguished forever. The Starforge sacrifice had been made, and Commander Abigail Hayes, along with her team, was lost. The legacy of humanity, rebuilding the galaxy. The aftermath of the Voidborn conflict left the galaxy forever changed. The cosmic upheaval caused by the final battle had left scars that would take generations to heal. Star systems had been destroyed, countless lives lost, and the once vibrant spacefaring civilizations had to rebuild from the rubble. But amid the devastation, humanity stood as the galaxy's unyielding pillar of hope. With the destruction of the Voidborn, the galaxy found itself at a crossroads. Many of the ancient species who had once been too complacent in their own power now looked to Earth. The species that had faced extinction yet still emerged victorious, to take up the mantle of leadership. The Earth Defense Coalition, EDC, was now the most influential military and diplomatic force in the galaxy. The de facto guardians of peace and the keepers of the lessons learned from their struggle against the Voidborn. In the years following the battle, Earth and its allies began to rebuild the infrastructure of the galaxy, diplomatic relations, trade routes, and intergalactic communication systems. The human vanguard, now a celebrated force of peacekeepers, traveled from star system to star system, offering aid, protecting weaker nations, and ensuring that no new threat could rise without humanity being there to meet it head-on. A new galactic order. Under Earth's leadership, a new era of galactic unity began to emerge. The once fragmented alliances between species were now more coordinated than ever before. The galaxy, in all its vastness, was now more interconnected, with trade agreements, mutual defense pacts, and scientific collaborations between previously adversarial civilizations. The galaxy, forged in the fires of war, was now evolving into something more, a unified network of diverse cultures, working together to avoid the catastrophic mistakes of the past. The galaxy now understood the true strength of humanity, not just their technology, not their military might, but their capacity to endure. Their greatest power lay in their ability to rise again after every defeat, to adapt to new challenges, and to protect those they loved. Earth was no longer just a planet on the edge of the galaxy. It was the heart of a new order, and its ideals were spreading to the farthest corners of space. Humanity, while scarred by their losses, remained resolute. Earth's resolve had become the galaxy's resolve. A call to explore. While much of the galaxy had focused on rebuilding, humanity's thirst for exploration remained unquenched. After all, the lessons of their survival had taught them that there was still so much to learn, to discover, and to understand. Humanity's scientists, engineers, and explorers began to turn their eyes back to the stars, not just to protect their home, but to venture into the unknown and ensure that the galaxy would never fall into the same cycle of destruction they had endured. The Seleni's ancient archives revealed that the Voidborn were not the only threat to the galaxy. There were whispers of other cosmic horrors that lingered in the dark recesses of space, places where even the Seleni had been too afraid to venture. And so, humanity's explorers set out on a new mission, to uncover these hidden dangers and ensure that the galaxy would be prepared for whatever might come next. But the true significance of humanity's journey into the unknown was not just to protect their home, but to forge their identity as the guardians of the stars. The human spirit, unyielding and insatiable, had a calling far beyond the protection of Earth. The rebirth of Earth's protectors. As the galaxy stabilized, the Earth Defense Coalition turned its focus to the next generation of protectors, the new leaders, the new visionaries, and the new heroes. The next wave of the human vanguard was being trained. Young men and women, born after the great battles, had learned about the legacy of Earth's struggles, and they were determined to carry that legacy forward. They were not just soldiers, they were diplomats, engineers, doctors, and scientists, men and women who understood that the galaxy's future lay in cooperation, knowledge, and mutual respect. The human vanguard became a symbol of the galaxy's new way forward, where survival and progress were not achieved by domination, but by understanding and embracing differences, learning from one another, and working together. One of the greatest shifts came in Earth's policy toward the younger, more unexplored regions of space, areas where humanity had yet to establish a presence. In collaboration with other species, humanity began to chart new galaxies, establish colonies, and set up scientific stations to study distant planets and stars. The future was about more than just military power or diplomacy, it was about growth, discovery, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. The Galactic Academy. To cement this new era, the Earth Defense Coalition established the Galactic Academy, a place where the brightest minds and the most promising leaders from across the galaxy could be trained. It was designed to instill the values of unity, strength, and hope in all who attended. Students of all species came to Earth to learn and prepare to protect the future of the galaxy, not just from external threats, but from the internal forces of greed, division, and fear that had once torn it apart. The Galactic Academy's mission was simple: to foster peacekeepers, innovators, and defenders of liberty. It became a beacon for every civilization, a place where the legacy of humanity was honored and shared with all who sought a better future. The eternal flame of humanity's will. Despite the peace and progress achieved, there remained one undeniable truth: the galaxy could never be fully safe. The Voidborn's defeat had not eliminated the risks, only delayed them. As humanity moved forward, they carried with them the knowledge that threats would always exist, both external and internal, and that their vigilance was the price of survival. But humanity had learned something from the past. They had learned that no matter the odds, no matter the enemy, they would not fall. Earth had faced extinction, confronted the impossible, and emerged stronger for it. The story of Earth was no longer one of a planet on the verge of destruction, it was the story of a species that had fought, endured, and thrived in the face of darkness. And so, the legacy of humanity continued to inspire the galaxy, from the Torthan invasion to the rise of the Voidborn, and now, to the rebuilding of the galaxy. Humanity had proven that its spirit was unstoppable. We are humanity, we will never surrender, and we will never stop reaching for the stars. And with those words, humanity's future was written not in the annals of history, but in the endless expanse of the cosmos. The New Horizon, humanity's future. The galaxy was now at the dawn of a new age. The war against the Voidborn had long since passed, and the rebuilding had turned into a period of rapid growth, discovery, and unexpected alliances. Earth, once a small and isolated planet at the edge of the galaxy, now stood as the heart of a new order. The human alliance, forged in the fires of survival and sacrifice, had brought together species from all corners of space, united by the lessons learned from their shared struggles. But as Earth and its allies pressed forward, they began to realize that there were still untold mysteries and dangers lurking just beyond the horizon, mysteries that could threaten all they had worked for. While humanity and its allies enjoyed a newfound peace, they knew that the stars held secrets not even their most advanced technology could comprehend. Their exploration efforts expanded further into the unknown, sending out ships and probes to study distant galaxies, unseen phenomena, and the vast voids between known star systems. What they discovered, however, was far more than they ever imagined. The echo of the ancients. The first signs of a new mystery came when a small scientific station, located in the farthest reaches of explored space, detected strange energy patterns originating from the edge of a newly discovered nebula. At first, it seemed like a routine anomaly, but the more the station observed, the clearer it became that this was not a natural occurrence. It was as though a dormant signal had been activated, an ancient signal, one that pulsed with energy and mystery, far beyond the capabilities of even the Seleni's most advanced technology. Humanity had faced the Voidborn, the Torthounds, and the Kiver, but now they faced something entirely different, an intelligence that was not only older than anything they had encountered but also eerily silent and unfathomably powerful. The signal, when traced, led back to a seemingly dead star system, a place once thought to be devoid of life, and yet now pulsing with an otherworldly presence. The Silent Dominion. A team of Earth's brightest scientists, explorers, and military strategists, led by a new generation of commanders trained at the Galactic Academy, were sent to investigate this mysterious signal. Commander Elijah Quinn, a veteran of the Voidborn conflict and now the leader of the Human Vanguard's exploratory division, was chosen to spearhead the mission. His task was simple: investigate the source of the signal and determine if it posed a threat to the galaxy. As Quinn and his crew journeyed deeper into the unknown reaches of space, they encountered the remnants of an ancient civilization, one that had once ruled over vast sectors of the galaxy. The artifacts they discovered suggested that this civilization, which they named the Silent Dominion, had been unlike any known species. They had transcended physical form, existing as pure energy or consciousness. The Silent Dominion, it seemed, had vanished eons ago, leaving only their remnants behind. But as the crew delved deeper into the ruins of their once mighty empire, they began to piece together a horrifying truth: the Silent Dominion had not disappeared by choice. Something had driven them to abandon their physical forms and flee into the vast expanse of space. The signal they had detected was their last desperate plea for help, a warning to all other civilizations. The Silent Dominion had encountered something far darker and more ancient than even they could handle. The mystery deepened as they uncovered a hidden chamber within a derelict space station. Inside was a strange artifact, an obsidian-like monolith, covered in ancient glyphs that pulsed with energy. The artifact was linked to a strange dimension that defied all known physics. It was clear that the Silent Dominion had faced an existential threat that had driven them to the brink of annihilation. This artifact, they realized, was not just a remnant, it was a key that could unlock a doorway to a terrifying force lurking beyond the veil of reality. The dark beyond, the lurker in the void. As Quinn and his team studied the artifact, they discovered a series of holographic projections that detailed the Dominion's greatest fear, an entity known as the Lurker in the Void. This ancient being was not a species, but an entity, an intelligence that existed beyond the fabric of time and space itself. It had once been a part of the universe, but had been cast out, banished to the farthest corners of reality by the combined efforts of the galaxy's most powerful civilizations. The Lurker was beyond comprehension, existing in a space that defied the very laws of nature. Its purpose was simple: it consumed entire universes, devouring everything in its path, and leaving only emptiness behind. The Silent Dominion had encountered the Lurker in the Void millennia ago, and in their desperate attempts to stop it, they had sealed it away within the dark recesses of space. But now, with the artifact active, they feared the Lurker was awakening once again, its influence creeping back into the galaxy, infecting minds, distorting realities, and slowly breaking down the barriers that had once held it back. Humanity had faced impossible odds before, but this was something entirely different. A new hope, the path to survival. Commander Quinn knew that the discovery of the Silent Dominion's warning was a game changer. If the Lurker in the Void truly existed, and if it was truly awakening, the entire galaxy could be at risk. There would be no more battles with alien empires or rogue factions. This was an existential threat that could end all life in the universe. The galaxy's finest minds and military strategists gathered to create a plan, a strategy to prevent the Lurker from escaping its prison. The first step was clear: find the key to stopping the Lurker before it could break free of its seal. The Silent Dominion's technology, scattered across the galaxy, contained vital clues. Earth's greatest minds worked together, combing through the remnants of ancient alien civilizations, including the Seleni, the Eldari, and even the mysterious artifacts left behind by the Kiver, who had once believed the Lurker was merely a legend. But the clock was ticking. The strange energy readings from the artifact grew stronger by the day. Entire star systems were beginning to experience unexplained distortions in time and space. The galaxy had no idea how much longer they had before the Lurker broke free. The final test, the Nexus of the Void. Commander Quinn, alongside a team of elite human and alien scientists, traveled to the heart of the galaxy's deepest unknowns, the Nexus of the Void, a place where the fabric of reality itself seemed to warp and bend. There, the final piece of the puzzle awaited them. They would need to construct a weapon capable of sealing the Lurker's influence permanently. But the process was incredibly dangerous. The Nexus was a place of intense gravitational forces, temporal anomalies, and energy fields that could tear apart entire fleets. But humanity had faced death before. They had learned how to survive the impossible. The human vanguard was called to action once again, as Earth and its allies united for one final stand against the cosmic terror that threatened to unravel the entire universe. As Quinn stood at the edge of the Nexus, looking out into the infinite darkness, he realized that this was the ultimate test, not just of humanity's strength, but of its unity, its resolve, and its will to survive. The universe had faced many challenges, but none like this. In the silence of the void, the last words of humanity echoed through the galaxy. We are humanity, and we will not let the darkness consume us. And with that, the final battle for the survival of the galaxy began.